Let's do this. You should be able to list users. Inka, right? What else? We'll try to put list groups. Hmm? You want roles also? Okay. If you want to get account summary, you can go to. If you want to list the keys also, you can list the keys. Right? Okay. If you want to tags also, list group for user. So guys, so how do I select all these things? How do I select all these things? How do I know what to select? Yes, based on requirement, correct? So based on the requirement, you need to go ahead and then choose it. Okay. So I'm just listing the users and groups here in read, get user, get group. Okay. If at all you want to get policies, get roles, get access keys, last use, all this information, if based on requirement, you can go ahead and select it. Tagging. So this user should be able to tag user. Hmm? Okay. You can untag if required. It's so if you don't want to tag it at all, so just leave it. It's pure. It's and then permission management. So here, what you can do, hmm, he can create policy, right? Or he can delete policy. So it's based on so here you haven't create here you haven't listed any policies. No, we are just talking about the users and groups, right? So if at all you have a requirement, okay, now let's go ahead and select list policies also. Hmm? He should be able to list the policies. He should get the policies and right. He should be able to. Oh, right. Did I miss right? Okay. So for right, see what are the things we have it for right. We can where is it? Okay, create user, update user, uh, create group, update group, hmm, delete group, delete user. Okay. Okay. Fine. So your wish based on the requirement, you just go ahead and then do it, guys. Okay. Everyone understood here in the permission management. If you want to create a policy, ask him to create a policy and then delete user policy if at all, or right. So it's all up to you. Whatever that you want to do, you can do it. So these are all the things that that on actions. So now we have selected the users, groups, and all. Guys, these permissions is for everyone. Like so let's say you are adding or you are creating group. What group? You can create any group or what kind of resources. So basically, this is all like resources here. These are all like resources. Do you see this? I expanded it. If you put all, right? If you put all, so what this guy can list any groups, list any policies, list any users. But if you want to specifically say that what group that he need to list, so specify here. So let's say, for example, group. So guys, how do I identify a group? Using ARN. What is the full form of ARN? Good. So now do you see this add ARN? So add ARN. So we have a group called DevOps, no? So I should be, let's say, for example, in the groups, he should be able to list. He should be able to list groups, right? He should be able to list only DevOps. If you want developer also, put it. See, we can restrict it to only to this group. Only this group they can list it. Other groups they cannot list it. Simple. So policies, what kind of policies that you can create and list? So if I go ahead and add ARN and or otherwise I just put star, that means what? They can do any policies. And which users they need to list? Let's say, for example, they can list only test user. See? So guys, based on the requirement, you just go ahead and then modify all these things. Now, if you want to restrict little bit, you can put some conditions also here. Let's say to do all these things, MFA is required or not, you can mention it. Or you can also restrict it saying that, hey, if the user wants to do all these things, he should be in this particular range. You can give some subnet range, guys. I'm just giving example, copy pasting it. But you can give your network range, right? Guys, and you can keep on adding multiple conditions like this. So once you have added all these things, your JSON is automatically generated here. Yes, makes sense. So these are all common. It is not a rocket science to learn. So what kind of the things? See, we have selected get policies and all, right? IAM colon. So this service is starting from IAM. That's why it is called IAM colon. Whatever the things that you want, you just go ahead and then get the parameters. Simple. If you need add more, just comma, enter, add it, and then comma. And to which resource you can, these are all the ARNs. So we have put the condition as true. Source IP is this, and then you can list the policies, users, and groups, right? And from this place, they can list and group. From this place, they can do all these things. Guys, understood everyone how to create a IAM policies, how to generate it? Everyone understood? So it's based on the requirement. You just go ahead and then select this visual editor. So let me comfort you with some more things. Sample IAM policy. Let's say I go this. I'm just giving you more confidence. So let's say, for example, okay. Guys, can you tell me what is this policy is doing? Read this and tell me. And guys, here we have effect. See here, effect. Effect, you can allow it or you can deny it. Okay, you can allow it or deny. So if you allow, only this will be allowed, rest everything will be denied. If you deny, if you put deny, this will get denied and rest will be allowed. So it's based on requirement. Now tell me here, what is this policy is doing? You are mentioning getting and listing. Getting and listing meaning what? And some people saying full access. Is it full access? It's not full access. If you put IAM colon star, that is full access. They are just getting only get and list. That meaning what? Only read, no? So can we say this is read only permissions for IAM? IAM read only access? Yes. So you are allowing it only get star and list star. So anything related to get, anything related to list. Don't say full access. It is not full access. It is only read access. Full access meaning it will write only, write also. It is only full. It is only read access. Okay, now do you see this here? So he can do all these things, correct? For all resources. You tell me this one. Okay, very good. So it says add user to group, remove user to the group, and get group. Get groups meaning first they'll get the groups of developers and operators, and then this policy is used only to add users to these groups only. They can add, they can remove. To which groups? Only these two groups, not all groups. See guys, how you are identifying the policies now? This one. See the condition also. Excellent. Full access to EC2, right? Only in which region? Only in Mumbai region. See? So guys, based on this, you can keep on writing the policies. Now you got the grip on it, guys. So click on next and then click on next. Give some, call it as 9 a.m. some test policy and then edit this policy. Your policy is created and this policy you can attach it to the IAM user. If you attach this policy to the any IAM user, and then whatever the permissions that you have given inside it will be applicable to that particular IAM user. Clear? Everyone understood? So policies, it's purely depend upon the requirement. So you can just go ahead like this and start learning these policies like this. Okay. Why you're getting AD here, Babu? If you're using SSO, then you will be attaching these policies to the roles, Suhas. Then use that SSO. Okay. We already added the resource, right? What is that resource? Half and half question. Is there any limit up to which we can create policy for a particular service? Is there any limit? There is no, for inline policy, there is no limit. You can, so guys, I have just used only IAM. Can you mix services here? Can I start putting IAM, EC2, S3 in one service? Yes, you can. Yes. Okay. I mean, number of policy for a particular service. There is no limit for that. No. Rahul, please understand. You cannot don't put half and half in multiple messages. If you want to ask a question, please frame the entire question and paste it, please here. So you are putting something, meanwhile others are putting something, and I'm half and half. I'm reading it. So frame it and then ask the question properly. I can answer. So any other questions on policies, guys? Will you able to now create the policies based on the requirements now? So this is not only for IAM, this is throughout the AWS. So so if you need IAM permissions, go and set up. So when we are done with EC2, you can go and create an EC2 policies, RDS policies like this. Okay. Now let's talk about roles. Let's talk about roles. So Guys, as I told you yesterday, roles in action, can we see it now? We cannot see it. We can only create the roles now. But assigning the roles to the EC2 or attaching the roles to the EC2 or roles in action, we cannot see it now. We can just create the role. Once we move on to the services, then we will be utilizing these roles in my different services. There is a question. Let's see. Let's see. While creating the policies, we added ARN. Correct. Why again do we need to attach custom policies to the user? Okay. Let's come here. You said something, right? While adding the policies, we added ARN. Correct. We have added this ARNs on which groups and things we have added. Correct. Why again do we need to attach custom policies? What is meaning? Why again do we need to attach custom policies to users? Where did we attach custom policies to the user? Oh, I understood now. Okay. Now you are saying that we have added the ARNs here. Then why again we are attaching these policies to the IAM user? Correct? That's your question. Yes. Okay, sir. So you have just mentioned it. So whenever you are putting this thing, that meaning it will automatically directly get assigned to the particular group. You are just calling the ARN. So you are not attaching this ARN or you are not attaching this stuff to that particular group. No, you are just calling it. You're just mentioning it. That's it. If you mention it, that doesn't mean that it's getting applied to that group. No. Until less. Okay. Now, is it possible to attach policies? So now for groups, we can attach policies. For users, we can attach policies. For roles, we can attach policies. It's all about until less you don't attach it, it will not affect. So you need to go ahead and attach it. Then only this will work. Otherwise, no. Just calling here doesn't make any sense. Unless you go and attach it, it will not work. Correct. You understood? Rahul, I'm waiting for you. Can we attach the policies which are not added while creating custom? Can we attach the policies which are not added while creating? You're mixing two things. I could not able to find out. I cannot read your mind. We cannot attach the. Can we attach the policies which are not added while creating? While creating, you're talking about attaching. Can someone? I need someone to help that. Sir, okay, sir. Rahul, sir, I will leave it, but I'm trying very hard to understand your question, sir. Okay, okay. So you cannot say, okay. Thank you for us saying that. Leave it. Okay. So if I don't want put some effort to understand your question, then I'll leave it, sir. Okay. So I'm just trying to understand, sir. Don't feel bad. Okay. So I cannot leave like this. Hold on. Without mentioning ARN of group, can we attach the group, sir? No. 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 Is that the question? Who is that name? Rahul. Now do you got the answer? Without adding the ARN of the group in the policy, can we create a policy and then attach the policy to the user? When you are creating the policy, you should mention to which group. Okay, now hold on. So now the confusion is, so I'm creating a user C. We just created a user. So let's say I created a user called test. Okay, next. Next. Here attach. Now, can I attach IAM user? This is the IAM test policy now. So I have a user now. So now, see, I have created test user, and I created a test user, and then I have attached the inline policy to him. This one. So whenever this test user has logged in, whatever the permissions that we have done, we have given, this will get applied. So now practically what will happen if the test user, not only test, let's say Shankar or a Ravikant, when Ravikant has logged in and I have Ravikant has logged in, what will happen? He can create policies, he can create group, he can update all these things for only, so he can list the group. For which group? DevOps group, develop group, he can list it. Right? He can list the users. Which user he can list? Only test user he can list. Right? Understood now? So we just created a policy, we did attach. Now I have attached it. I thought you will understand that. Until unless you go and attach to any of the IAM user, that policy is waste. That's of no use. Understood? And when you're writing the policy, you need to clearly mention which resources that you need the permissions. And until unless you don't attach the policy to the user or to the role or to the group, the policy is waste. It just be lying over there. Is this clear on this part now? Clear? Any questions? Any confusions? Can we attach the same policy to users we can create later on? That's why we have already learned that, Pooja. One policy can be attached to multiple users? Yes. Is it only no? So for Lambda, I'm creating a role. Lambda should do what? It should have permission to the EC2, correct? So that's the reason why IAM role for that EC2 instance, EC2 service, I have given the permissions, and this role should be attached to this Lambda, correct? Correct? Makes sense? So you are creating the you are creating the IAM role, and you are attaching to which service? You are attaching to Lambda. And Lambda should do what? He need to go and do some actions on EC2. For that reason, I have given the permission. This is one type of requirement. Let's take another requirement. Right? So I have an EC2 instance. Do you remember that keys issues I told you? So I should not use the keys, correct here? I should not use the keys, correct, guys? And let's say, for example, from this EC2 instance, I want to access S3, for example. Okay. Now, I should not use the keys. Then what should I create? IAM role I will create. So from this, for this IAM role, what kind of permissions that I need to give? Correct? S3. And this IAM role should be attached to which service? To EC2. Do you understand? Do you understand? So let's take this first one. Okay. This is number one. This is number two. Okay. Let's take this scenario. Let's take the first scenario and try to create a role for it. Okay. Okay. Let's create a role. So your common use cases, you are creating the role, you are attaching to the EC2 or Lambda in this first scenario, the bottom one. EC2 only, no? So here, trusted entity to which service? AWS service, no? We need to select AWS service. And do we need to select EC2 or Lambda? We need to select EC2. Okay. And then click on next. Now you are selected EC2. Now what kind of permissions that you need based on this requirement for role? Yes, here you need to select S3 permissions. Understood, guys? Now, next and create a role. Give some name and then 9 a.m. test role something, and then create a role. Understood, guys? How to create a role? And then now attaching this role to the EC2 instance, we haven't talked about the EC2. So that's the reason why I said roles will be created here, but how to use the roles, we'll see it later when we go to EC2 or CloudWatch or somewhere. But how to create a role, you understood, no? So let's take the first scenario. Okay. I mean, the second one. The second one. So now I'm creating a role. Tell me which one I need to select, EC2 or Lambda? Yes, fantastic. We need to select Lambda because you are attaching it to Lambda, no? Your trusting entity type is your Lambda. You are attaching whichever you are attaching it, this Lambda. And Lambda need what permissions? EC2 permissions. Understand? And then create a role and give some name and create a role and click on create role. Guys, understood how to create roles now? Everyone? Yeah, Rajkumar, that's right. Understood on the roles? So I'm telling you, so roles we will create here, but roles in action we'll see when the time comes. Okay. There is question. If the Lambda and EC2 are in different regions, then the same process of IAM role. That is a good question. One, first of all, this IAM is global. So you can use the services or you can the roles anywhere throughout the regions. Shravan. It will. Okay. But ideally, it's always good. So Lambda, you should be in one region and EC2 also should be in same region. That's an ideal scenario all the time. Okay. Okay. Good. Good question. So everyone clear on these roles and policies? So we created a role and then you go inside it, right? And then you can attach and detach the permissions for the role and to which you have assumed the role for EC2, you have it, access advisors. And anytime you can go ahead and revoke these active sessions. Okay. Revoke meaning if the role is getting, I said no temporary access without credentials. The temporary, if you click on revoke active, Fatak, all the things will get revoked. You can immediately remove it or revoke it. And okay, let me give one more example. So remember switch user? So for switch user also we need to create a roles, no? Okay. So here for switch user meaning it is you're talking about service to service or to account. So which one you need to select? The second one you need to select, right? Second one you need to select. So select the second one. And then here you are doing, see, allow entities in other AWS account belonging to you or a third party to perform actions in this account. So guys, can you give me some account number? Not your SBI account number, your AWS ID account. Give me some sample. Yes. Put it in chat. Another AWS. Okay, enough, guys. Enough. I got one just for example. Huh? So I just put his ID here. Okay, Vijay Kumar. So best practice is, so guys, options. If this third party tools guys have some external ID, you can just put the external ID here. Otherwise, so definitely should have an MFA. You can restrict that. Otherwise, click on next. Okay, this Vijay Kumar, I'm creating a role for him. Okay. Oh, Chandra Prakash. Okay. Yeah. So what kind of permissions that I can give him? It's based on the requirement. Whatever he asks, I'll give it. So let's say, for example, I'm giving SC permissions. Okay. Next. Simple. Who is that? Chandra Prakash. Role. See, guys? Create role. So now what he do? Chandra Prakash. Guys, what the Chandra Prakash will do? He'll go, okay, view role. So this I just created. On top we have view role. So Chandra Prakash role is created. Either I can go here, I can share this URL to him. You see this URL? Role name Chandra Prakash, role, account is Ria Cloud. So I can share this URL to him, or what he can do, Chandra Prakash can go here and click on switch role and provide this role name and provide the account name. See, I'll click on switch role. I cannot switch role to him. He can do switch role to me, correct? Switch role. Do you see this? Account Ria Cloud, role Chandra Prakash Cloud, display name, give us some name, and then switch role. And he will be into my account. Understood, switch roles? So this ideal maximum session duration is 1 hour. After that, it will get, and you can anytime revoke the active sessions, right? And anytime you can go ahead and modify the permissions of the role. Understood how to set up the switch roles? Okay. So once you're done with it, delete all these junk things. Otherwise, it will keep on. Anyways, IAM is free for you. You don't have to worry on that. Okay. And then identity providers. What is the need for switch role? What should I do? You were absent before, Nitin? Then we have discussed quite a lot on that already. Everyone understood. Everyone knows that switch role concept, guys. So in single line, if I want to tell switch role Nitin, you want to access my account. Ideally, what should I do? I should create an IAM user for you, no? But I don't want to create an IAM user. You are a third-party person. So what should I do? I'll create a role for you, and then you will be doing the switch role for me. Without credentials, with the roles concept, you will be entering into my account. Okay. Security purpose. So identity providers, as we said, guys, this is related to your single sign-on concept. So you can ignore it, but this will be a nice exploring task for you. So if at all required, so I'll give you the task on it, don't worry. So account settings, guys, if you want to do if you want to enable active your regions, and then if you want to go to some password requirement. So see, minimum 8 characters and one uppercase, one lowercase, one numbers. So if you want to give some yoga style passwords, must and should, so you can do all kind of password policies out here. And access analyzer, these are all simple things. Like as I told you, if we have so many IAM users, what will you do? And so guys, it's very hard to know which user have which kind of permissions. It's very hard, correct? So if you go ahead and then start creating one, create analyzer, right? It will generate a Excel sheet for you. So you analyze that Excel sheet, you can take an action. So it is just for monitoring access to your resource. So credential report, you can download the credential report. If you download, Excel sheet will be downloaded. So all your so do you see this? So root user, RIA, test, their ARNs, when the user is created, what's the password, password is there or not, or their MFA is there or not, access keys are there or not. So how many access keys, all this information, you will get it over here. When it is last used, right? It's like basically audit. When is last rotated, when is last key active, all this information, you will get it for the particular user. Okay. Organizational activities. So I don't recommend to do it. But the thing is, do you remember organization's concept? What is this organization concept? If you want to handle multiple root accounts, I've asked you to create one root account. Some people have not yet created also. So I don't ask you to create multiple root accounts here. But the thing is, if at all you need so go to organizations. So the main account is called what? Management account, correct? Oh, yeah, management account, correct? So this is my management account. That is my root account. That is my management account. Now, let's say, for example, I want multiple root accounts to be managed now. Let's say, guys, there are two ways. Add an AWS account on the top. Do you see this? Either you create a new AWS account, which is your own company, your under department, give some name like DevOps department, give some their email ID, and then create AWS account. Guys, I'm telling you, don't create it. Because if you create like this, automatically an AWS root account will be created with this email ID, right? It will create immediately and it will be a part of this organization. You can control it. But if at all you want to remove that, you cannot remove directly from here. How you need to close the AWS account? You need to pay all your debts if at all you have, and then go there and then close your account. So individually, you need to go ahead and log into the each account and then close it. So I don't recommend to do it, guys. So just keep this in mind in your organization. If at all there is a requirement of organization, so this is how you can add the AWS account directly. You can create it from here, or you can invite. Let's say I have Avinash, Khan, Monica, all these people. So I want them, all these their root accounts to be a member for me. What then? So their email IDs, or I can give their account ID. I put the account ID here. Keep on adding these 3 account IDs and then send invitation. Once I click on send invitation, so they will receive an email, and if they accept it, they will be under my organization here, and then I can control them. And all their billing also, it will come to me only, because I'm the management account. Okay, this is how you handle it. Got it? So I don't recommend to you to do this, but this is good to know. Guys, understood everyone? Any questions? Okay. So good news is we are done with IAM. No problem. So guys, Sirisha is asking, now we have a root account. I have attached my credit card now, no problem, correct? So the question is valid. But Sirisha, did you assign MFA to your root account? Then no issues. Then no issues. It's secure. So make sure you have MFA for your root account and make sure you have MFA for your IAM account. If you have MFA, no issues. If we create organization, then we can increase the free limit, right? Because we have multiple root accounts. What increase the free limit? If we are smart, if AWS is also very smart. Okay. But what will you do, Ma, with those things? This free limit is for 1 year. But the thing is, we can do a hell lot of things in that free account that itself. So no need to have multiple root accounts. So every morning, Srinivas, when we are talking about, when we are learning theory, I used to do shootout round, no? And all my pains, all those are all interview questions only. Okay. So how many accounts we can create for one credit card? You can create multiple, many. They need just only money, Siraj bhai. Sir, within 1 year, can I close my root account? Yes, you can. Not 1 year. Once we are done with the practicals, once we are done with the course, we can close it if you are very, you clear the account. If see guys, if you follow me, you don't get the bills. Bills will be only like few tens, like 30, 40, 50 like this. But if you don't follow me, sugar patients might get some hundreds. That's the only difference. But if you're out of, if you are where a level, then you will get in thousands, which I don't have any control. Yeah. That's why I said, when I said do it, do it. When I said don't do it, don't do it. Don't worry, guys. I have got two questions from two ladies. It will be, my card is safe or not? Of course, it is safe, man. No issues. No issues. Okay. So the task for you here is, okay, these things. See here, guys. So can you create a role and assign permissions? So can you create inline policies? So can you create two IAM users called test1 and test2? Two IAM users. And for test1, assign IAM full permissions. And for test2, assign read-only permissions. And then what you do, you log out and log in with test1 and verify what he can do in IAM. And log out and log in with test2 and verify what he can do with the read-only permissions. And then this user should be able to create an IAM user called test3, and you create an inline policies that he should be able to create user, list user, get user, list policies. Create one inline policy and log out and log in as test3 and see what he can do it. He should be able to do only these things, not others. Switch roles. If you have your friend, share your account IDs with each other and do this switch role. And one optional thing is, but it's optional. It's not highly recommended. This federation. So guys, you can take an example of Okta and then go to the Google and try to create a free tier or account in Okta and set up to AWS. This will be very fun, very interesting. If you get time, I would highly recommend to do this, but it's not mandatory. But till here, these are mandatories. Okay, I have pasted the task for you. Copy paste, copy it. This is just started. So new material, IAM I can send. Sirisha, send me an email, ma. I'll send IAM material. Yeah, sometimes it works. Otherwise, take the screenshot. While signing in IAM user, they're showing your authentication information is incorrect. What should I do? Your password might be wrong. So maybe at the end, you are copy pasting the spaces and all. Or the account alias, correct. In real-time production, when we need switch roles. I mean, why we give access to others? That's what I said. So if you don't, so there might be multiple people, like, some consultants might come, or some third-party people. They'll ask, we need access to it. They want to do some cost optimization. There might be multiple requirements, so that they want to get into your account. That's a use case. Yeah. Like the views of tables. Correct. Very important question for Ali Sayed bhai. Tomorrow is holiday. What do you think? So guys, so Monday to Friday is usually uh, it's mandatory. Okay. Saturday is, don't think that Saturday is holiday. Okay. So let me give you one thing. Tomorrow, so guys, as we are done with IAM, what we do is, I don't usually give holidays, but the thing is, I will be on leave on these days, guys. 22. So there will be I have a vacation, or I have few planned things. Okay. So next week, 22, 23, Saturday, Sunday is anyways off. 26, 27 also I cannot come driving over the night. So the next class will be on 28. So there will be a huge holidays coming in. So I don't want to give holiday tomorrow. So let's take a class tomorrow. Okay. And guys, can you please approve my leaves? Huh? Grant me, no, please. I need to take permissions. So don't get angry, and don't say that so many leaves, because this is year end. So vacation plan is mandatory.